All right, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive on athletic shoes,
Mm-hmm.
but not just any athletic shoes.
Right.
We're going deep
Okay.
into wide athletic shoes for men.
I like it.
Because if you've ever felt like your feet are like in a wrestling match with your sneakers,
Yeah,
you're in the right place.
absolutely.
So we've got a stack of research articles, expert
Right.
opinions, and some really interesting insights to share with you today.
Awesome.
And get this,
Okay.
we're not just talking your average 2E width.
Right.
We're going all the way up to 4E, 6E, even 10E for some shoes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is that so many men are actually wearing the wrong shoe size.
Really?
And that can lead to way more than just blisters.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. Those post-run blisters are no joke.
Uh-huh.
But it sounds like we're talking about some serious long-term stuff here, too.
Absolutely. Think about it. Your feet are your foundation.
Right.
They literally carry you through life. But when your shoes are too narrow, you're putting constant pressure on your feet. And that can have a ripple effect throughout your whole body.
Okay, so paint me a picture here. What kind of problems can crop up when we're squeezing our feet into shoes that are too small?
Well, you mentioned blisters, which are definitely a common issue.
Yeah.
But it can go way beyond that. We're talking about things like corns, ingrown toenails, even nerve compression.
Oh, wow.
And for men who are obese or dealing with edema,
Right.
finding shoes that fit comfortably can be even more challenging.
Right, because their feet might require those extra wide widths to accommodate swelling and discomfort.
Exactly. And it's not just about comfort. Ill-fitting shoes can actually increase the risk of foot ulcers,
Really?
especially for those with diabetes.
Wow. Okay, so this is serious stuff. I was starting to realize just how much I took my feet for granted.
It's something we all do, but it's never too late to start paying attention.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Wearing the right athletic shoes can actually improve your athletic performance.
Hold on. You're telling me that finding the right size shoe can actually make me a better athlete? I'm all ears.
There's research to back that up. One study on rock climbers found that a whopping 91% of them experienced foot pain
Wow.
when their shoes were too tight.
As someone who's always wanted to try rock climbing, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If my feet are killing me, I'm definitely not going to be performing at my best.
Exactly. Think about it. When your shoes fit properly, you have better stability, better grip, and a more efficient transfer of energy when you move. All of those things can make a huge difference in your performance no matter what activity you're doing.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Good.
So let's say I'm ready to ditch the foot squeezers and find some wide athletic shoes that actually fit. What should I be looking for?
First and foremost, a spacious toe box. You need that extra room for your toes to spread naturally, especially during physical activity.
Makes sense what happens when your toes can't spread out.
It can lead to all sorts of problems. Think about bunions, for example.
Those bony bumps that form on the side of your foot.
Exactly. Bunions are often caused by shoes that squeeze the toes together, forcing the big toe inward and putting pressure on that joint.
So by giving your toes more room to spread out a wide shoe, can help prevent bunions from forming or getting worse.
Precisely. And the same goes for hammer toes, which is where the toes bend abnormally at the middle joint again. A roomy toe box is key for preventing those issues.
Okay, spacious toe box, check. What else should we be looking for?
Proper arch support is crucial. It's like the natural shock absorber in your foot.
So arch support's important for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it especially important for people with wide feet?
Well, people with wider feet often have flatter arches,
Okay.
which can put them at a higher risk for issues like plantar fasciitis, a painful inflammation of the tissue that runs along the bottom of your foot.
Ouch. I've heard that plantar fasciitis can be a real pain, literally.
Yes?
So a good arch support can help prevent that by stabilizing the foot and distributing your weight more evenly.
Exactly. And it can also improve your overall balance and stability.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We've got spacious toe box, proper arch support. What else are we looking for in a good, wide athletic shoe?
Breathable materials are essential to keep your feet cool and dry, especially if you tend to sweat a lot during workouts. You'll want a shoe that allows for good air circulation.
All right, breathable materials, got it.
Yeah.
What about things like cushioning and flexibility? Do those matter?
Absolutely. Think of cushioning like your car's suspension system.
Okay.
It helps absorb shock and reduce stress on your joints, especially when you're running or jumping, and flexibility at the ball of your foot.
Right.
That allows for a more natural range of motion so you can push off powerfully without feeling restricted.
So we're basically looking for a shoe that's supportive, comfy, breathable, and flexible, like a dream team for your feet.
Exactly. Now, are you ready to dive into some specific brands and models that are designed with wider feet in mind?
You bet. I'm sure you've got some insider knowledge on that.
We do. Two shoes we want to highlight are the Epos 9709 and 9704. They're both designed with wider feet in mind,
Right.
but they cater to different activities.
Okay, so what's so special about these Apis shoes?
Well, first of all, they've got that non-binding fit we talked about, meaning they don't constrict your foot. They also have that all-important extra room in the toe box, and they come in a wide range of sizes, including those larger widths like 6E and even 10E.
10E. I bet some listeners are hearing this and thinking, finally a shoe that understands my struggle.
I wouldn't be surprised, and these shoes are specifically designed to address those common issues, that wider feet face pressure points, blisters, poor circulation, and they even have options for those who need to use custom orthotics.
That's fantastic. So tell me more about these two models. What's the difference between the 9709 and the 9704?
The 9709 is a great all-around athletic shoe. It's lightweight, breathable, and has a contoured orthotic insole for extra support.
Sounds like a good option for hitting the gym or going for a run.
Yeah.
What about the 9704?
The 9704 is geared more towards walking. It's got a slip-resistant outsole for safety, extra depth to accommodate custom orthotics, and a padded collar and tongue for extra comfort.
So if you're someone who's on their feet all day or maybe dealing with foot pain and needs that extra support, the 9704 sounds like a great choice. Before we move on, I have to ask, what about those men who need even wider widths?
Yeah.
We're talking about those 9E or 10E sizes.
That's a great question, and it's important to know that there are options out there.
Okay.
Companies like Drew Shoe and Apex specialize in extra-wide footwear, and they offer a surprisingly stylish range of athletic and walking shoes in those larger sizes.
That's really encouraging to hear. It sounds like there's a world of possibilities out there for men who need wider shoes, no matter their size or activity level. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the bigger picture. How does wearing the right shoes actually impact our overall health in the long run?
Sure.
I mean, we've talked about preventing specific foot problems, but what about the connection between our feet and the rest of our body?
That's a crucial point. Remember what I said about your feet being your foundation?
Right.
When your foundation is off, everything else is affected.
So we're talking about things like posture balance, maybe even back pain?
Exactly. When you wear shoes that fit properly, you're reducing the strain on your feet, ankles, knees, even your hips and back. This can help prevent a whole range of problems down the line, from bunions and hammer toes to plantar fasciitis, and even chronic pain and good foot health can also improve your balance and stability.
Right.
Which is crucial for preventing falls, especially as we get older.
This is making me think about all the things I might enjoy more, or even new things I could try if my feet weren't holding me back.
Okay.
Maybe it's hitting the gym more often, taking up a new sport, or simply going for a walk without worrying about pain.
It's amazing how much our footwear can impact our lives, isn't it?
It really is. And, this whole conversation has really opened my eyes to the importance of investing in the right shoes. It's not just about comfort. It's about taking care of our bodies and allowing ourselves to live our lives to the fullest.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll continue our deep dive into the world of wide athletic shoes with even more tips, advice, and insights. Stay tuned.
And we're back diving even deeper into wide athletic shoes.
Yeah, and before the break, we were talking about how ill-fitting shoes can impact our entire body, not just our feet.
It's true. It's all connected.
Yeah.
But now that we've kind of established the why, let's talk about the how.
Okay, I'm ready to shop.
All right.
But with so many brands and styles out there, where do we even begin?
Well, we already touched on a few key features,
Right.
like spacious toe boxes, proper arch support, breathable material.
Right, those are the non-negotiables.
Exactly.
But is there anything else we should be thinking about when we're out there browsing the shoe aisles?
Absolutely. Let's talk about lacing technique.
Lacing techniques.
Yes.
Okay.
The way you lace your shoes can actually make a big difference in the fit, especially for wider feet.
Wait, really? I've
Yeah.
not thought about that.
Yeah, there are certain lacing patterns that can alleviate pressure points and create a more comfortable fit.
Okay.
For example, something called window lacing can help reduce pressure on the top of your foot, while heel lock lacing can prevent your heel from slipping.
I actually have a pair of running shoes that always seem to rub the top of my foot no matter how I adjust the laces. Maybe I need to try that window lacing technique.
It's definitely worth a shot. There are tons of resources online that demonstrate different lacing techniques for wide feet.
Okay.
It's amazing what a little adjustment can do.
Okay, lacing techniques noted. What about the materials? Does it matter if a shoe is made of mesh or leather, for example?
That's a great question. It really depends on your needs and preferences.
Okay.
Mesh is super breathable,
Right.
which is great for keeping your feet cool and dry,
Yeah.
but it might not offer as much support as leather.
Okay.
Leather, on the other hand, is durable and can mold to the shape of your foot over time,
Right.
but it's not as breathable.
So mesh for breathability, leather for durability and support.
Exactly. And there are also synthetic materials that offer a blend of breathability and support.
Gotcha.
It's all about finding what works best for your feet and your activities.
All right. I'm feeling more confident already about navigating this world.
Good.
But before we get too lost in the details, let's talk about some specific brands.
Okay.
I know we've mentioned Apis,
Yes.
but what are some other companies out there that are doing a good job of catering to the wide-footed population?
New Balance is a classic choice.
Yeah.
They're known for offering a wide range of sizes and widths.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a great selection of athletic shoes for various activities.
I've heard good things about Brooks, too, especially for running.
Absolutely. Brooks is another brand that gets it right. They offer several models and wide widths, and they're known for their focus on cushioning and support, which is essential for runners.
Okay, are there any brands that stand out when it comes to those extra wide sizes,
Yes.
like 9E or 10E?
Definitely, we mentioned Drew Shoe and Apex earlier, and they're both great options for men who need those larger widths.
Okay.
Drew Shoe offers a wide variety of styles, from athletic shoes to dress shoes,
Wow.
all in extra wide widths.
Okay.
While Apex focuses specifically on athletic and walking shoes,
Okay.
with features like seamless linings and extra padding to minimize irritation.
That's fantastic. It's so important that everyone has access to comfortable and supportive shoes regardless of their foot size.
I completely agree, and it's great to see companies recognizing this need and expanding their size ranges to be more inclusive.
So let's say I've done my research, narrowed down my choices. I'm ready to head to the shoe store.
All right?
Any tips for ensuring I get a good fit when I'm trying those shoes on?
Absolutely. First, make sure you measure your feet at the end of the day.
Okay.
When they're slightly swollen that way, you'll get a size that accommodates your feet at their largest.
I've heard that tip before, but I never really understood the reasoning behind it. It makes so much sense now.
And don't forget to try on shoes with the socks you'll typically wear for your activity.
Right.
Different sock thicknesses can significantly affect the fit.
That's a good point. I'm definitely guilty of grabbing whatever socks are clean when I head to the shoe store.
I think we all are, but those little details can make a big difference in finding the right fit. And speaking of details, pay attention to the heel of the shoe.
Okay.
It should fit snugly around your heel to prevent slipping,
Okay.
but it shouldn't be so tight that it rubs or causes blisters.
So a secure fit, but not a suffocating one.
Exactly.
Got it. Is there anything else we should be looking for?
Definitely consider the arch support.
Okay.
If you have high arches, you'll need a shoe with more pronounced arch support. If you have flat feet, you'll want something with a bit less. Most shoe stores have specialists who can help you determine your arch type if you're unsure.
That's really helpful. And it's a good reminder that we all have different foot structures.
Yes,
So what works for one person might not work for another.
exactly. It's about finding what feels best for your individual foot.
You know, I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed by all these details.
I hear you. It can be a lot to take in, but remember, most shoe stores have knowledgeable staff
Right.
who can guide you through the process and answer any questions you have. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in trying to figure it all out ourselves.
Yeah.
But sometimes the best approach is to just ask for guidance.
Absolutely. And don't forget to actually walk or even jog in the shoes when you're trying them on.
Okay.
You want to get a feel for how they support your foot in motion.
So we're talking about a real test drive, not just a quick glance in the mirror.
Exactly. Pay attention to any areas of pressure or discomfort. A properly fitting shoe should feel comfortable right away. There's no breaking in period for well-fitted athletic shoes.
That's a myth I've definitely fallen for in the past. I've endured some serious blisters in the name of breaking in new shoes.
If a shoe is hurting you from the start, it's probably not the right shoe for you. Trust your feet.
All right, so we've talked about the features to look for, the importance of finding the right fit, how to make the most of our shoe shopping experience. But before we move on, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier. Those men who are obese or dealing with edema,
Yeah.
finding comfortable athletic shoes can be even more challenging for them, right?
It's true, their feet might require even wider widths or special features to accommodate swelling and discomfort. It's especially important for them to work with a healthcare professional or a certified podorthist.
A podorthist. That's a new one for me.
A podorthist is a specialist who can assess their foot structure gait and any specific concerns they might have, and then recommend shoes that provide the appropriate level of support, cushioning, and accommodation for their condition.
So we're talking about going beyond the typical shoe store and seeking out expert advice.
Exactly, and there are so many amazing resources available for those who need that extra level of care and customization.
This whole deep dive has been so insightful.
Good.
I'm realizing that there's a whole world of footwear knowledge that I was completely unaware of.
It's an ongoing journey, and we're all learning together, but the most important thing is to prioritize our foot health and recognize that it's a crucial part of our overall well-being.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time for another quick pause. When we come back, we'll wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts and encouragements to help you step into a world of comfort and support. And we are back for the final part of our deep dive into wide athletic shoes. And you know what? I'm really feeling energized about taking better care of my feet.
That's fantastic.
How about you?
Yeah, honestly, I think this whole deep dive, I've learned a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to understand it in theory,
Right.
but then, like you said, hearing these real-world examples and personal anecdotes really brings it home.
Absolutely. Like that window lacing technique.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally going to try that on my running shoes tonight. Who knew that just changing the way you tie your laces could make such a difference?
Right. Those little tweaks can have a huge impact.
Huge impact.
But speaking of impact, I think it's worth circling back to that idea that investing in the right shoes is an investment in your overall health and well-being.
Yeah, you know what? I used to think that buying expensive shoes was just a way for companies to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm really starting to see it differently.
I mean, think about it this way. Your feet are your foundation.
Right.
And when your foundation is strong and supported,
Yeah.
you're able to move more freely, enjoy your favorite activities, and live a more active, fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And is there anything more valuable than that?
I think you're right. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one message you want our listeners to walk away with?
If you're dealing with foot pain, discomfort, or limitations,
Right.
or even if you just want to feel more comfortable and supported in your everyday life, don't settle for shoes that don't fit properly. There are options out there for everyone, no matter your foot size, shape, or activity level.
I love that your feet deserve it.
They do.
I mean, they carry us through life.
Yes.
They allow us to experience the world.
Yeah,
They deserve to be treated with care and respect.
absolutely. And if you're not sure where to start, don't hesitate to seek out expert advice. A podiatrist or a podorthist can help you assess your individual needs and find the perfect footwear solution.
That's a great point. There's so many resources out there, and there's no shame in asking for help.
No, not at all.
And as we've learned today, it's the little things that can make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So pay attention to how your shoes fit. Experiment with different lacing techniques, and don't be afraid to try something new.
Exactly.
Well, I'm feeling inspired. I think it's time for me to go on a little shoe shopping adventure.
Maybe I'll join you.
Okay, let's do it.
There's a certain satisfaction that comes from finding the perfect pair of shoes.
I know.
That feeling of comfort, support, and freedom.
Absolutely. To all our listeners out there, we encourage you to embark on your own shoe-finding journey. Your feet will thank you for it.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover a whole new level of comfort and performance that you never knew was possible.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to the Apis shoes and other resources that we mentioned.
Yes.
Until next time, happy stepping.
Happy stepping.
And keep on diving deep.